Hello and welcome back to the European HCS Pro League. My name is Sims, joined on the desk by my beautiful compadres, as ever, Mr. Daniel Gaskin and Harry Chan. And gents, we've got an incredible matchup for game number 3. Definitely want to say this could be potentially the series of the night.
I was ready to come back from break. You saw
got
nothing.
caught out.
You saw nothing.
Saw you putting your water down.
You definitely.
I thought we were going to the one shot. Okay, production.
It's going to be a big game.
Come on.
Yeah.
It's going to be a statement for both teams. Both teams have already qualified for the finals. U4X have already guaranteed first seed, but Infused haven't guaranteed second seed. With results going the way that have gone tonight, they can either get second or third seed. It's going to be between them and X-Men, so the likelihood they're going to be playing X-Men as second or third seed. So it's just a statement for Infused. If they can beat U4X, then they're saying a lot to X-Men. Yeah. Whereas if U4X can get another win on, and if they can go into finals 10-0, that is going to be absolutely incredible, and everyone is going to fear playing those guys.
Now, Ramirez said it perfectly during the interview. These guys are good. Don't underestimate them. Definitely don't say they're bad, because they're not. They're a fantastic, fantastic roster. However, the one thing and the one little issue I do have with this roster is kind of the age and experience. And fair enough, Ramirez says, don't worry about that. It's about the now. It's not about the then. But we have seen a couple of, when the going gets tough, these guys take the pressure and really feel the pressure. And I specifically revert back to post-gaming. When post-gaming hit these boys hard, it kind of hit the fan for them.
You took the words out of my mouth. I was literally going to refer back to that exact game type.
You could see them kind of breaking brick by brick, couldn't you?
Yeah, it was just like, you guys are so close. They were like, 6 points away from taking the Strongholds game, and yes, they got on the other side of a yard spawn or like a blue spawn on the Plaza Strongholds. And it's like, you've been here thousands of times. You've broken out of this setup thousands of times. At least I hope you have. If you haven't, you should be working on that like right now, because finals is pretty soon, people. But it's like, why can't you just get together and just push out? Like, they had a 60-point gap in which to do that, I'm pretty sure, in that game type. Yeah. So you're right. You're perfectly correct to refer back to that game type, and it does worry me in those kind of instances. And speaking of Plaza Strongholds, it's game number 1. And U4X have a decent record on this game type.
Go on then, what's the record?
Oh, you don't want to know.
Go on.
U4X are 3-0, Infused are 0-2.
Ooh. Well, rest in peace. Speaking of the best of 5, let's take a look how this best of 5 is going to plan out. Plaza Strongholds, as Harry mentioned, will be game number 1. Colosseum Slayer, I'm getting a bit of a shake of the head there. I think we may have a little bit of a mistake on that screen, so we'll get that rechecked in just a second.
Truth Slayer.
Should be Truth Slayer for game. Everything else right, it should be just Truth Slayer and Truth CTF for games 2 and 3. We'll get those adjusted in just a second, guys. Apologies for that one.
I have these maps indented into my brain, because it was 8 o'clock Tuesday evening when I had 6 Skype conversations open, and I was trying to track everyone's videos like that, and it was just crazy.
And
someone said that we should be streaming these videos live, so maybe that's something I'll consider next season, doing a little veto show.
A veto show?
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
That's cool.
Make sure you put that voice on while you're doing it, though.
One thing I will say about all these game types, there is only one map with one team with a losing record on, and that is game 1 Plaza Strongholds, Infused at 0-2. There are no losing records for either team on any other game type in this series.
And of course, there's so many memories across this one. So when we look at Plaza Strongholds with Infused, we remember Pulse Gaming. When I look to Truth capture the flag against Infused, I remember Infused, and the things that have happened on these game types, and I think I'm starting to see a pattern here with Infused being a bit rubber band. It either goes one way or the other. They absolutely go out of the stocks and pull it out of the bag, and I'll still never forget that crazy, crazy flag run by Warlord. But this is U4X at the end of the day. This is your undefeated team. This is a team that has just replaced Snakey, more of a support, objective, leadership kind of role, with another main Slayer in Foxy. But we keep saying this. Every time I've seen him, he's been doing his fair share of objective work first, credit where credit's due. This is the test. I think even if Infused can scrape a game off of U4X, I think they're going to do very, very well.
Yeah, it will worry me if U4X drop a game to Infused, because they haven't really looked like dropping games at all this season. Obviously, in the past, they dropped 2 to Dinosaurs and they dropped 1 to Pulse. That's all they've dropped the entire season. This is through 8 match days so far. They've dropped a total of 3 games. So yeah, if they drop a game today, I'll be very almost disappointed, but you talk about 2Foxy. I think he would prefer playing with a team like this. Yes, the team may not gel straight away, but he was looking for a more aggressive squad. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they play against Infused, and another good team.
And there is nothing to lose for this Infused squad. I think that's what's important. They have nothing to worry about. They've got nothing to be nervous about. They're not securing their playoff spot. They've already got their place in finals. They don't even really need to worry about seed, because all they're going to be getting is second or third, which is essentially the same bracket anyway. So I want to see Infused coming out of the blocks early, really taking it to this U4X lineup that has just looked so dominant through this whole Pro League.
Isn't it kind of so weird, though, how we can all of a sudden see Dinosaurs being the guys that are taking games from U4X and taking it to a Game 5 one week, and then getting smashed by X-Men the next. This Pro League, this European Pro League, even in America, actually, thinking about it again, we saw CLG, we've not spoke about it, CLG drop their first series and get pushed to a Game 5 the day before. Pro League right now, Halo Esports, is absolutely wild. These players are getting better and better as the seasons prevail. Fall season, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be incredible one. Kicking things off with 2Fox's POV, as we now see U4X grabbing the first camo of the game.
We spoke it earlier. Dinosaurs, they showed that U4X can bleed. Now Infused just need to show that you can actually take the head off of this snake. As Kimbo has got an early camouflage, but Doodle will spot him out and throw a nice pulse grenade just to make him back off. But Kimbo is still alive, which is very important.
I think my biggest issue with this playing a roster like this, and you speak about cutting a head off, honestly, Dan, it reminds me of a Hydra. You cut one head off, and 2 or 3 more will respawn, because that's the kind of team that we're seeing. It's an aggressive team. The teamwork is there. They're very young players. They're hungry. They are confident in their shot. These boys just love to get stuck in and give teams a real beating. And I've played with these. Last week, I was playing with 3 members of these at any given one time for a whole day. We didn't drop a single series. I'm now Onyx 2000 and something, thanks to these guys. Their teamwork is absolutely dominating.
Nice to see you're still getting carried, Sims, but Infused, they are still in this game. They've got 2 strongholds underneath them, and Batchford is going to move towards Nest as well. And actually, it looks like it's pretty uncontested, because there is a little battle going over at Yard. And that does mean that U4X have grabbed the Yard, but perfect play from Batchford there. He's more than happy to just soak up that time in Nest, and now he's just going to wait around, see if any teammates are going to support him, as 2Foxy is lurking around, coming up these cinema stairs.
I'm very surprised Batchford didn't go and help his teammate out there, rather than turning around and taking it not only a couple of shots, but a grenade to the face. I'm very surprised that he didn't help that player out over at Posters. We saw that player did drop down. Respectful will go down into the bot. Oh, no, he's going to work. Oh, actually, we're going to go one way there, but Ian is going the other. He'll go and challenge Doodle. We've seen him in this position before. If he gets away with his life, which he does, the survivability of this man is absolutely disgusting. In come the grenades. A Splinter will come out of the hands of Warlord. Unfortunately, won't find his target. But now he can just sit behind this post and this pillar. He'll get challenged by Flux now. And all of a sudden, in comes Foxy for the support. Working side by side. They'll both survive, get the shields back. This is going to be a massive double kill for Flux. But unfortunately, nobody's there to recapture the nest.
Unfortunately not. Just fantastic survivability there from Respectful. And if you're just joining us, he's the kind of player we've been speaking about as the best player in Europe right now. So I'm not entirely surprised that he's doing some absolute work. Infused now are having to back off into this Yard to take a stronghold just to try and stop a little bit of the bleeding, but that does mean they will be forced back, and that will play in the hands of U4X as their camouflage has respawned. U4X do have map control, so I wonder if any of those are going to be able to pick it up.
Did Mo just kind of give in then? He just kind of wandered by and said, you know what, you can just have the back whack. I'm getting out of here because I don't like the position I'm in. And now we're back on balls with Mose. He will burn that camo, so look for that coming up at back. That was, I believe, at 14. Splinter nades dropping on 2Fox's legs, though. He will grab a kill out of it just before he dies. Now we'll see Flux push back down into the U-bend, as he has no shields, trying to get them back and force an attack. But at the moment, the game well and truly seated in the hands of U4X. They've got complete control of Nest. There's 3 players down there locking it. 3 players now moving into the basement area. Oh, no, there's no way you can go, unfortunately. They're just spread out across the map. You've got one in both corners, one at the back of it by the van. Anywhere that you go down bottom mid, you're getting taken out and shot by somebody.
Infused were just kind of sitting back and waiting for one of the U4X players to push towards that camo so they could get an easy kill, but it just gave more time for U4X, and actually by burning it stops that way back into the game for Infused, because really by grabbing that camo, that's when you can get sneaky, that's when you can get behind and maybe push towards the nest, as we see all 4 players of Infused stuck back in that Yard, and U4X is just going to trap these guys.
This is interesting though, they weren't stuck there, they were in blue, they decided to push back to the Yard, so a very clear very clear tactic here out of Infused, excuse me. They decided, hey, you know what, we spawned in blue. Instead of going straight for the nest, here's what we're going to do. We're going to get to yard first. We're going to see if there's any U4X players trying to put pressure on the yard, and then we're going to make a decision from here. Do we go to bottom middle, or do we go to nest? I think at the moment they've chosen bottom middle, but Batchford obviously got the call to stay alive, but he will go down here to the hands of Kimbo, and a little bit of showmanship here.
Yeah, we're going to see Kimbo come in with a little bit of a body burn there, just to let Batchford know that you got done by a storm rifle when you had an SMG in hands, my friend. However, you know what, that's going to be actually Warlord going to be answering back. Batchford comes across with the shots as well to support him. 3 caps in the hand, 3 plots. We've got the triple cap, it is in effect. The time is ticking and rocking up. We'll go for Warlord with a very, very cheeky ground pound. However, we got Respectful right behind him just to try and... Oh, no, he didn't. We actually saw Doodle coming across with some nice shots as well. As Kimbo will just plant himself up with the perfect kill as well. Finds Batchford in the window. Batchford's going to jump out. Kimbo gets the reload. He's going to challenge this one, but look at that. 2 Foxy answers the call, gets a double kill as well, and we will also see Kimbo stay alive.
I mean, Infused have been picking up some kills, yeah, but all U4X have been doing have just been completely delaying and stalling and just bleeding out Infused, as they are now only 4 points away. I was going to say 6, but it's going up so quickly because of this triple cap. That is going to be the game. U4X are going to go 1-0 up in this series. What a commanding start.
That play at the end of the game right there from 2Foxy, I absolutely love. He said, you know what, we have total control. Yes, I have camouflage. I could stay alive, maybe pad my stats a little bit, but he said, let's just end this game. 12 kills from Respectful, 4 captures as well, 6 secures from Mose. On the other side, Warlord, that cup of tea burning his Xbox, clearly playing on his mind at the moment. Only 3 kills the entire game out of him. So a very solid start, and that is exactly why U4X are 3-0 on Plaza Strongholds. And
Feels really bad, man.
I think we actually just saw then as well why Infused are now 0-3 on this game type.
And I think we've seen why teams have been avoiding playing Plaza against U4X. However, Infused were like, no, we're confident, we think we can take it, but clearly their faith was in the wrong place.
I'm actually really triggered right now.
You are?
Yeah, I'm really annoyed because I keep giving Mose the benefit of the doubt in my fantasy stats, and I keep choosing him over Respectful, and it's really starting to annoy me now because I do believe that Respectful is the best in Europe, and he is a very, very good personal friend of mine. But I just thought Mose were going to do it, and I've got to be honest, Luciano, you're letting me down, my friend.
It's not good enough.
It's really not. My fantasy stats, and you can probably see by the look on my face right now, I'm pretty triggered by this.
It makes it worse that I've got Respectful in my team for you as well. And do you have Respectful in your team?
I also have Respectful. That's interesting. That's
for you.
interesting. Imagine if you had Warlord, though. 3 kills.
You evil man.
I'm evil.
You didn't have to do that.
Oh, don't drop him in.
Oh, anyway, so that is how U4X win Plaza. At the end of the day, that was a commanding victory. 100 points to 15. Scoreline says it all. There's nothing else we can really do about that. Teamwork, slaying power, everything back of the net. 3 plots at the end of it for how long? A good 20, 30 seconds?
It was
possibly?
a long
Too
time.
long.
It was a long time.
Too long.
Too long is the answer. But now Infused just need to forget about that, move on to Game 2, which is Truth Slayer. And Truth has been a map that we've not really seen much of in Pro League. A lot of teams have been vetoing it. These guys have not been vetoing it, and now we're finally seeing 2 teams who are happy to play this Truth. I mean, Truth Slayer has changed rapidly since that rifle placement.
Yeah, massively. And Infused are one of the teams that are happy to play it. They're actually 3-0 in the league on Truth Slayer. This is their kind of bread and butter. Truth Slayer is something they absolutely love. We've seen in previous broadcasts how well they control the rifles. Flux especially with the carbine, and Doodle especially with the battle rifle. It allows the other two, Warlord and Batchford, to just rotate around the map through bases, while we have like Doodle over here with the battle rifle at the pink tower, and then we have obviously Flux over here with the carbine.
Took the words out of my mouth. Doodle and P2 is like what a sniper is to snipe drone right now. He will literally sit there, take a rifle, and the one thing we've actually seen Doodle do quite a lot, once our thing's out of ammo, he'll bolt across top mid. If there's a fuel rod, yeah, why not? We'll take that. If not, we'll go grab a carbine and then get back over to P2, and he will sit there and he will stat pad. Now this is kind of what you need to do, because if you don't do it against this team, they are going to slay the living hell out of you. I am slightly worried going into this that this could get messy and escalate very quickly.
Well, on the other side, you talk about this kind of BR control from these guys, but U4X, they were the team that were kind of running around with a sword and with the storm rifle just getting behind you, being a nuisance. So it's going to be kind of like a contrast of playstyles here, and I wonder what's going to win, the kind of aggression or the passion and control.
And both these teams actually have winning records. U4X are also undefeated on Truth Slayer. They are 2-0, whereas Infused are 3-0. So Infused have that extra win on their record. They are 3-0, but U4X no slouches on Truth whatsoever either.
So basically what we're saying is this is the battle who can keep their perfect record on True Slayer complete. Ladies and gentlemen, please tweet the stream, use the hashtag HCS, let everyone know what's going on. We've got some high quality Halo kicking off. U4X wanting to exert their dominance and show Team Infused just why they are the best and the undefeated in the European Halo League. I mean, at the end of the day, I kind of want to ask, tomorrow, guys, do you think we'll be seeing U4X come out of the Pro League with a 10-0?
Yeah, I think they're coming against Pulse, and U4X just looked too strong for Pulse. I mean, Pulse have looked great, but I mean, the Pulse weren't even able to get a win against 5. I don't think they're going to be able to do it against U4X, the absolute god squad. As we are now jumping into this game too, we're on board with Warlord, who's just kind of using that anchoring position at the moment as Kimbo picks up the camouflage.
And what's really annoyed me here, and I'm triggered again, I'm getting triggered, boys, quite a lot. How often, even when you play Arena, how often do you let somebody get away with the camo, not even challenging them? And now look at what he's got. He's anchored top mid. He's got a fuel rod. You cannot let Kimbo do that. That's annoying.
How many times have we seen on this map Kimbo running with the fuel rod? Look at that shot. That's exactly why. It's so easy for him. He gets the fuel rod anyway, even if he doesn't get camouflage. But when you hand him the camouflage on a plate like that, that's something you absolutely cannot do. And early on in this game is not really looking great for Infused.
So let's stick with him and see how many kills he can get with this thing. So Camera's about to run out. You can hear it flashing. He's got Doodle moving straight out and running across the carbine section. There's one. He's going to catch him off guard. Bags himself another one. 7-3 the score. We're only 1 minute into this game and it's starting to spiral out of control rather quickly as they exert themselves into quite a commanding lead, doubling the score. 8-4 is currently the score. Moving down into the P2 section. Well, you know what? There's a BR there. It's one of the rifles. Let's stick it in as well.
I mean, we did say that Infused are great at holding the BR and the carbine, but I really don't think U4X are going to give them even a chance of getting any sort of control just because of the amount of aggression that they have.
Yeah, and something that speaks perfectly towards that, Dan, is the fact that as soon as Mose went down on Pink 2, Kimbo got up to P3 to make sure Infused, if they got into Pink 2, they couldn't stay there long because Kimbo was above them, putting pressure down. And now we see Kimbo and Mose just working in tandem, pushing through this base, getting kills, getting assists. And look at the score already, 14-6. This next camouflage is coming up in the next 20 seconds. So if Infused don't get this, you've got to say, early on in this game, Sims, it is over for Infused.
Just really to quickly note, I think every single shot that he's fired so far, no matter what gun it's been with, I think either he's got the kill or he's got an assist off of it. This team right now is just absolutely dominating. What a really, the teamwork is on fire. We said that this was kind of their first real test. Playing Infused, the second in the league. Oh, look at that. I'll just hold off. There's a camo there. No one's going to go for it again. They're going to give me it for a second time off the spawn. I won't shoot that bullet. I trust that one of my mates is going to come and save me. This, right now, is why this is your European Halo best team, without question.
And Kimbo could have some juicy kills now. Unfortunately, the Infused players do jump away from his fuel rod, but at the moment you've got Mose running around with a sword, you've got Kimbo who's got this fuel rod and camo, and then you've got battle rifles and carbines in the hands of Respectful. I mean, this is just unreal map control from U4X right now.
Why aren't Infused prioritizing Kimbo as a kill? They made him weak. Yes, sure, they were pinned around that carbine side, but Kimbo has camouflage and he has fuel rod. He has pretty much the only 2 power weapons, excluding the sword, on this map. Like, how do you not prioritize that? And look at how much damage he's doing now. This is a 16-point lead and it's going to grow, make it 17.
Let's stick with him until he dies. Let's see if he can go an entire game without dying. I'm going to put that up. I've just jinxed it. I've jinxed it. No, I haven't. Yes, I have. Oh, sorry. Well, finally. But look at that scoreline, guys. 28-12. But at the end of the day, this is the team effort. You keep seeing all the assists coming in left, right, and centre. Respectful's just going to hang around on this Eli Whip. Gets the call out. Ooh, Gunnar comes in, though. Will get taken down by Doodle. Another kill for Doodle as well. So he's going to bag himself a double kill in the kill feed off of that one. But honestly, it's a little bit too late as we see grenades are flying in thick and fast. He's going to get hit markers off of that. He will near the Eli just to make sure nobody's there. There is somebody there. He cops for it on the radar as that player disappears and will crouch down He knows he's still there. Someone like Mose isn't going to go beelining out there. He'll be patient and let them come to him. Two players going side by side. This is teamwork at its finest. Finds Flux. Gets the call out from 2Foxy. 2Foxy will stand his ground, just wait for Flux to come to him.
There is still hope for Infused as well, actually. They've got a little bit of map control now. If they can get that carbine, get that battle rifle and set up. I mean, when you're spawning, you've just got a pistol and you're trying to push up to that P side or the carbine side against one of those rifles. It is a real struggle, but I do think U4X are just going to be fantastic at breaking any sort of setup that Infused put on the board.
I love what U4X are doing here, especially 2Foxy. He said, you know what, if Infused already have Pink Tower control and they're going to want to drop down to get the camouflage, let me get into Pink 2. It's just so easy for him, and once again, for the third time in the game, third time in a row, Kimbo with the camouflage.
And let's see if he makes his way to the fuel rod, because it's sat there waiting. He's just going to crouch around. He's taking it easy. If it's one thing I've got to say, though, he's been super patient. He's really not in a rush to do anything. It's like just been kill after kill, not really doing much. Oh, look, there's a one shot there. We'll take that as well. We'll grab ourselves a top gun medal. We'll stick that on his chest just because we're doing it for shadow points. Kimbo at the top currently 10-2. What an incredible play from this man. He's like, ooh, there's a sword. There's a fuel rod. Oh, you know what, Warlord? I'll just use you as bait. There's one.
Here?
There's Flux as well. We'll take you on. This is just ridiculous. There's absolutely... They're not prioritising him. It's really annoying me.
Infused just look lost right now. It almost seems like they've just given up on this map. But Kimbo's just running around just saying, oh, there's a no shields. Oh, there's a guy half shields. And he's just had this fuel rod like in his back pocket pretty much the whole game. And actually, his fuel rod's shots have been brilliant. I've seen other players that kind of fire a fuel rod expecting loads of splash damage, but he kind of goes for that, like, that direct damage on a player to get that kill.
And I don't know if we've said this before, don't you think the fuel rod is actually one of those weapons where you either love it or hate it, and whether you absolutely beast and excel with it, or you're just terrible?
It's the Marmite of weapons.
It really is.
I was going to say that. Oh,
it really
so
is.
in sync.
It's absolutely the Marmite of weapons, and if you get that thing and you do disgusting stuff with it, you really will, and it's one weapon that you want to constantly give to an individual teammate, which is what they're doing now. They're constantly giving it to Kimbo over and over again, and the kills are showing it. This could potentially be... How do you like your steaks done, gents?
I mean, we've been talking about Kimbo and his fuel rod and his camo, but I'm fairly certain Mose has pretty much had this sword the whole game. He's only got 20% left, so he has slashed a lot of bodies with that energy sword. He is now just going to absolutely stampede into the space, see if he can take down Warlord. Warlord will run away, but you're running away from a very fast character. He will get taken down, but only 3 more kills needed. And
he did get taken down by his teammate, just to note as well, which, if that actually stops the stake, I'll be very, very upset. As we see Kimbo, BR in hand, he'll throw away that empty fuel rod, go after Warlord, get the call out as well. They need some help and support over there, which unfortunately will die as we look down for Batchford with no shield. Cleans him up, goes one-on-one and toe-to-toe with Flux. Flux says no. They don't want to let him get to 30 kills. The stake, it's medium rare. It's almost done at this moment in time. They only need one more kill. That, ladies and gentlemen, will be game, set and match. This is what the U4X boys do. This is what they look like. Seriously incredible stuff.
I'll tell you what, I can't wait to get a listen in on this U4X side, because the way that Kimbo was moving around that map and just looking everywhere, you can tell that the shout-outs and the call-outs were just perfect in that game.
Yeah, you're not wrong. 16 kills, 4 deaths out of Kimbo. He was literally running around the map, picking up kills like it's, ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. He's literally just like, ooh, there's no shields. Easy kills. It's easy money for Kimbo. Mose with 12 kills, Respectful with 12 as well. On the other side, Warlord and Batchford with only 8 kills between the two of them, especially with Batchford's 15 deaths. That spells Infused danger in this game type, and they lose 50-28.
Feels Batchman 8 and 25 between two of them.
Yeah,
that's between two of them. That, you know, 25 kills. They've given away half of the deaths. They've given away 50% between 2 players of that entire team. That, you know, Team Slay at the end of the day, it's a game of 2 halves. Fair enough, it's all about the kills and getting the win at the end of the day, but it's about the deaths. If you can stop giving away those deaths, you're helping your team out. When you're giving away 25 between 2 members and only giving 8 kills in return, it's not great.
Unfortunately on that map though, once you are behind, you try and do everything to try and get back in, you try and do the flanks, and if you are a player like Warlord, like Batchford, and you know you're capable of swinging the kind of the pendulum in your favor, then you're going to be trying to make the flanks. You're going to be trying to make that change to your team, and you will be punished with a lot of deaths because of that.
Why are you smiling?
Well, silver lining for Infused. There's no more truth. Oh wait, no, it's next game. Yeah. Truth capture the flag. They have to play it again. So I don't know.
Feels Batchman. I love
so
that.
Batchman.
I really like
feels
that.
Batchman.
But it feels bad. I don't want to say again because I really like Batchford.
Oh, he's a nice guy, and you know what? He's one of these. Batchford's kind of He's what European Halo is at the moment. It's this excelling young audience. It's these new guys that are coming up through the ranks, finding the foothold. And I said from day one, bang on. He's part of kind of that American community, like you see him on Beyond. He watches all the American pros. He understands the game. He understands how to play. And he's a grinder. You watch him. How many times? I used to play with him a hell of a lot. He was a good friend of mine, but I always knew he had something about him. Bumph is in Pro League. He's here to prove a point. And anyone, regardless of what we say here and have a laugh, anybody who's in this top 6 team is fantastic, and at the end of the day they have the title of Pro European Player, and they got a green title on Beyond.
Yeah, good job, Batchford.
I mean, at the end of the day, they are twice the player that any of us are.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy for us to sit here and analyze and criticize because we can see the whole map, we can see the player outlines. It's very different once you've got the controller in your hand and you're kind of just in that zone. And yeah, these guys are fantastic players, but at the moment U4X are just too strong for anyone.
The highlight reel was just Kimbo, the Kimbo show.
It was just the Kimbo piece of candy.
The Kimbo piece of candy show. It was just like, oh, that's a free fuel rod shot right there. Oh, what's that? You're up on P3? That's mine as well. Yep. Hey, what's that? You're on car 1? Yeah, I'll take you as well, mate. That's easy kills for me. And it literally was just Kimbo running the show.
I actually wanted him to come on to do the interview afterwards.
We both did, yeah.
And he's like, no, not doing that. But even though, like, he's one of the loudest players, when you listen to them, he tells them what to do and where to go. He bosses these boys around. He knows what's up. Capture the flag on Truth, ladies and gentlemen, could be our 3rd and final game of the night. Infused are between a rock and a hard place right now. U4X are rocking them to pieces. We've seen some very, very nasty beatings so far handed out by U4X. They are here to prove a point. They are here to prove why are the best team in Europe right now, and it's eyes on the prize. This is the road to finals. They want to be here. They want to be in Studio 1 where we are. They want to be walking away with their share of $67,000 in the European Grand Finals, which are going to be absolutely fire.
It's going to be a slightly different task for U4X. They can't kind of run around as sporadically as they did last game. They need a little bit more control about their movement because obviously they need to grab a flag when they are running around, but you will be looking towards kind of Foxy to initiate these pulls. He's very much become the captain of this side, and that's why he's been a very good addition to this U4X squad. They needed a little bit of leadership because they do have these kind of young, aggressive players.
But still, it's got to be noted again. Camo, Fuel Rod, Sword, U4X, 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 2 of which are with Moles now on POV, and oh wow, they're all just lining up and asking to die. If he would have fired a few, and he's going to get him. There's 1, there's 2, down goes the 3rd. Why would you barrel into a corner like that? Why would you give them that?
I'm really surprised that he whipped out his pistol. He kind of saw 4 players and went, oh, I really want to, but he knows that the splash damage on the Fuel Rod isn't great, and they are going to put this first flag in. U4X 1-0 up. Great start to this game. They've just showed sheer map control. Infused all got caught out off guard there. And at the moment, U4X just an absolute powerhouse.
Perfect plays, though, from U4X. You get the kills. You start to run the flag. His teammates chased up behind him, and they pushed towards that Carbine side. They knew exactly where they were coming, so they aggressively charged onto Carbine. They picked up anybody who else were there, run the flag in. There's a cap. Unfortunately, the player who on ball, we've just go down with Sword. They'll hand it over to Batchford as Batchford jumps back into his own base. They need to push out because this is kind of what happened to them last time. They got slayed inside their own base, and they were allowed to run into the flag. They can't do that again. They need to spread out a little bit more. They need to get some space between them and U4X and get some kills on the board and even get a flag more. I don't think they touched a flag yet.
I'm not sure if Warlord grabbed it earlier, but
it was Batchford. He took it into the basement, but he didn't get very far. He was immediately shut down by Moze.
They can't just be running into the base and pulling the flag randomly. It really needs to be a calculated push, and they need to just get aggressive and try and get some kills on the board. But when you're against players from U4X, like the likelihood of Brandon, Respectful and Moze, and when they've got like the Sword and when they've got Fuel Rod, you're really going to struggle. So we need to see Infused pick up that camouflage, make some plays, grab those Fuel Rods, grab those Swords, and really do something. And as I say that, Warlord has got the Fuel Rod in hand, gets the double kill as Flux is moving this flag towards his own base.
But he's only half shields and he is sprinting. He's finally going to slow down. His shields will return. Look for Moze now to be super aggressive in this base. The grenades should fly in thick and fast. Here comes Kimbo.
No.
He's probably going to get the... Oh, he does. He takes him down. He's going to get the pull as well. Not entirely sure what's going on. We'll take a look on the feed. Flag is out in the window. Respectful's jumping off of P3, trying to make something happen. Doodle's going to shut that one down. Flag's out and about though. Down goes Doodle as we will see 2 Foxy being super aggressive on top mid. That is a dead flag and a return.
I mean, I just wanted him to kind of thrust towards that flag. He went for the ground pound, then panicked, cancelled his ground pound, and Kimbo was just like, yes, please, 1, 2, 3, thank you very much, I'll take that kill.
Yeah, it's kind of tough though there for Flux. The timings didn't really work out. I mean, we saw on the player outlines Mose was coming into the base, so it was kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. I mean, yeah, if he ground pounded in, maybe he kills Mose, but if Mose pulls that flag, then it's a dead flag anyway, so it kind of sucks there for Flux. He got the kind of sharp end of the stick.
However, I've got to say, when you look at what Kimbo did, any normal player would beeline at that flag to pull it to give a bit more time. He stood his ground. He actually says, you know what, you're going to jump in. I'm going to give you a few bullets before I do pull it. Did pull it in the end, but kind of, you've got to be confident in your shot. If you're going to stand there, not pull a flag and say, I'm going to put some bullets in you before we do this.
Well, at the end of the day, they're more than happy probably for a flag to go on the board for Infused, but what's important is just kind of getting that kill, because you can say, look, okay, yeah, we'll get that kill. Even if you cap it, we might be able to get a counter cap, but we do see Infused tying it up as Doodle brings it across the whole map. But there is a lot of kind of control here as Moses got that sword once again. And
the power weapons, yeah, every time we see it, we'll move across to 2Foxy. Look what he's got in his hand. However, it does get shut down by Warlord. So now we'll see the fuel rod transfer to him, and he picks up a double kill. A second time we've seen him grab that weapon and make good use of it. Now they're going to be aggressive. They're going to push in as a 2. There's the camo. First one of the game for them. Goes in at 34, so we'll note the time. And another flag's just gone in the background. While all this was going on, U4X just did the stealth cap across the opposing side. No one was there to challenge. We had 3 or 4 members of Infused, all on the cam, all on the P Street, sorry. 2-1 is the score.
Yeah, there was just such a battle going on. I don't know who kind of run that flag, but someone just took the initiative and said, well, if you're all going to fight over there, I'm just going to grab a flag, run it across the map. And now U4X are in a very commanding position. Infused have to answer. And when Infused are on the back foot, typically they're not as good of a team. They are a lot better when they do have their kind of foot in front.
And we're at the 7 minutes mark. The flag's on the move once again. The pressure's starting to get applied now. This is kind of the Warlord pull what we saw last time. Pull it and hope and pray and just throw some grenades and get some shots off. There's 2 members scoping down on him. That's going to be respectful. Beelining from top mid. He's probably going to drop. I'm looking for him on the kill feed. It's actually Flux who will go down first. Then Batchford as well. 2 members going down. That's 3 members now down for Infused. The last member alive. That's going to be Warlord. No! A4D. All 4 down. In comes the flag, up goes a player, in comes the ground pound, bang! There you have it, U4X 3-1 in flag caps, 3-0 in game.
I take back everything I think I've ever said about U4X. That is a scary, scary team right there. That is a dominating performance. Yes, Warlord top slayer in the game, but the points, the flag caps, they come from U4X. And it was just a great all-round performance from them. 2Foxy with the 2 flag caps. And 2 returns from Kimbo as well. We saw them. They had the majority, the lion's share of the swords, the fuel rods, and the camouflages. And that's what really set U4X apart from Infused.
Just a quick note as well. When we speak about Foxy, when we speak about all his slaying abilities and things like that, we have to note that every time we've seen him, even in flags, most returns, most captures, I don't want to say he's falling into this objective role. I think he's more falling into, what do you boys need me to do? Let's just do it.
Well, when we spoke to Respectful in an interview last week, he said 2Foxy's just brought in that leadership. So if 2Foxy's saying, look guys, this is what we've got to get done, that's going to be in his head. And that's what he's going to be getting done. So actually, maybe it's a good change for him kind of entering a team where he can really take charge, because it switches up his playstyle a little bit. It makes him think a little bit more about what he's going to do.
And what's interesting is we actually have Respectful on after this for a call. We can actually ask him the kind of changes, what he's seen, and you know what's happened with Foxy, how the team's looking, how things are moving forward. Fair enough, in his own individual, Mo's individual, not an issue, best in Europe without question. But as a team, definitely last week, it looked a little bit rocky, and you could tell they were just getting used to things. And as you mentioned, Harry is still dropping games in scrims at the moment. Things aren't going the best of ways.
Teething problems, I think it's fair to say. I mean, they've only been a roster for what, 2 weeks now? I mean, they have a lot of time until finals. They have what, 20 odd days, like 24 days, something like that. So they have a lot of time, and these guys are grinders as well. You know they're going to be on every single day, practicing, working out their flaws, and making sure that they're in tip-top shape come finals.
You mentioned you were quite not surprised, but taking everything, and this was, look at that, 1, 2, 3, 4. There goes one. One goes down at the back. There goes your second one. In comes a third. 4 members down. That was twice we saw that happen.
This right here. I mean, it sucks because Mose was coming in from the carbine anyway, but Kimbo was already in. Yes, Kimbo didn't pull the flag, but if Flux had ground pounded, then maybe he might have killed him and got the cap, but it was very, very unlikely.
Just a quick question then, Harry, and I'll pose this to you and afterwards, Dan, as well. You mentioned, you said you take everything back that you say about that roster.
Yeah.
Who do you think's been the most improved after the team changes? Now we've seen it, and who do you think is kind of come out on top?
He's going to say my answer.
X-Men 100%. I mean, it's crazy how they've come from they've basically made a complete U-turn. They were 1-on-1 every single week before Rami joined, I'm pretty sure. Didn't they win 2 last week? I'm pretty sure they won both their games last week, and I don't know, who do they play again tomorrow?
Tomorrow, they play Vibe tomorrow, actually.
Well,
really important game for Vibe.
It's a very important game for Vibe, but at the same time, you'd have to say a relatively easy one for X-Men. So it looks like they could go 2-0 again. And just the way that they're playing, the way that Ramirez is able to step up with this new squad as well, I just think they look an absolute force in the league at the moment. I'm an X-Men believer now.
All right, then, guys, on screen, U4X 15-100 was the initial scoreline. 50-28 was the second one, and 3 caps to 1. Everything kind of went right for them, and everything kind of went wrong for Infused. But as Ramirez said in the previous call, never underestimate a team. And when we get into this arena, everything, absolutely everything could go out the window, and everything could change. We've seen things happen on LAN before that we didn't see happen online. The possibilities are endless. It's Halo Esports, baby. And honestly, things are looking really good. We're just getting an interview with Respectful kicked up in our ears in just a second to talk to the team captain of how things are looking over on U4X's. I've actually been told now it is ready, so let's move on over to Skype. Respectful, a.k.a. Mr. Brandon, can you hear me?
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing, fella?
Not bad, man, you?
Yeah, very well. Look at that, 2 Northerners in the space of 2... Don't give me that look.
It's horrible.
That's a bit racist. I feel at home now with my brothers. We're doing quite well. So obviously, yeah, commanding victories, Brandon. Absolute. We mentioned last week a few teething problems, as Harry said, and describing it as a better word. 2 Foxes in there now. You've been practicing. How have the changes been? Have you just kind of seen it go strength to strength with the roster so far?
Yeah, like obviously when we was teaming with Snakey, it was like we obviously had more time with him. So obviously at the very start we was still kind of stronger with Snakey, but now we've got Perry, 2 Foxy. We're just going over stuff all the time. We're just practicing non-stop, and like you can just see it week by week, like day by day, scrim by scrim. We're getting stronger and stronger, and I'm really happy with the squad and how it's panning out. So yeah.
Fair enough. Now tomorrow you play Pulse, which obviously looks like a favourable matchup, you guys being 9-0, them being 2-7. Mathematically, there is still the tiniest of hopes of Pulse making playoff finals if they were to beat you. Is there any chance of that happening tomorrow?
Well, obviously there's any chance in anything happening. I mean, it's Halo at the end of the day, but I mean, Pulse are going to have to pull something really big out of the bag, and other teams are going to have to lose for them to get through. So it's going to be a tough one for them anyway.
So if Pulse aren't the team to beat you then, Brandon, who is? I mean, obviously you guys are not going to want to lose. I mean, it's a bit of a stupid question to ask, but who do you see as your biggest threat now? You're pretty much guaranteed, in fact, you're confirmed as the champions of the regular season Pro League. Going into finals, who do you guys see as your biggest threat? Is it X-Men or is it someone else?
Yeah, I'm guessing it's X-Men. I mean, I'm 100% definitely thinking that it's going to be an us versus X-Men final, and I'm like, quite frankly, I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, it is. And to be honest with you, even to watch and commentate, that is going to be a fantastic game. I just want to kind of see you boys screaming it off in the arena and getting down to it. But, you know, kind of, when we look at that one, we do know, and we spoke about this, Brandon, and we'll speak about it again. Do you feel that there is, going into this, we know what's happened in the past, is there a lot of pressure on you and Mose to perform and bring home a win?
Yeah, there is pressure, obviously, like you've heard before, the EMEA, blah, 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 all that sort of stuff. But, I mean, I use it as fuel, and so does Mose. I mean, we love it in a way. Like, it's just, I mean, it makes us want to try even more. And, I mean, like I said to you before, the fire's fueled. I mean, we want this more than anybody. Like, our whole team, we want to win this event. We're going to take it. So, we're really confident. We're really happy. We're just going to keep grinding, getting better and better, and just see what happens.
And with that mental attitude, I'm a believer.
Yep.
So we'll leave it at that one. Brandon, I want to say thank you very much. It's appreciated for you coming on at this late hour. Congratulations once again, and good luck in your games tomorrow to try and box it off for that 10-0 sweep of the Pro League. And he's gone. So we'll leave it at that one.
Not even a goodbye. That's rude.
See you later, Brandon. It's been a pleasure. Nice
Thanks for the fantasy points.
Cheers.
It's the only and I've got Kimbo, and Kimbo was doing well, wasn't he?
Wait, hold on. No,
just to let you know.
Have you got both?
Can't have.
No, you can't have two of the same team. I'm pretty sure you have Kimbo.
You're talking
I'm
rubbish,
talking
man.
absolute tripe.
So
I've got one of them. I can't even remember anymore.
I'm pretty sure it's Kimbo.
Either way,
you're saying you have Kimbo. I am respectful. So
either way, you don't have either of them. So
yeah, I've got Mo's. I'm happy.
You do have Mo's.
I'm sorry to hear
me
that.
and my Italian stallion. I'll leave it at that one. So yeah, guys, thank you once again for joining us. It has been an absolutely mental day. This was the final stream of the European HCS Pro League. Obviously, from here, we will be streaming. We'll be doing it live from here. We'll be streaming the Open Circuit Finals. That will be on Sunday the 17th, so bookmark that. From that event, we will see two teams that advance champions, and they will then face off on Saturday the 23rd. I believe it is, need to get outside, 23rd, 23rd, against two teams, 5th and 6th, as we enter relegation for the fall season. Remember, 5th team will get to face and choose their opponent who they want to play first in that double elimination bracket. And then the 24th, oh baby, $67,000 on the line as we are here for the European Summer Finals. It's going to be a wild event, some amazing teams, some amazing matches, all online, all live right on here, twitch.tv/Halo. For now, that's pretty much it from the casting desk. Summer season's over, gents. I want to say thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. I want to thank all the audience, all the guys in the back that make this work, all the guys over at 343, you know, all the guys at ESL that do all the work to set all this Pro League up, all the things in the back that you don't see, the design of the websites, the streaming, everything and anything. There's a lot of people who bring the Pro League together, and it has been an absolute pleasure. Onwards and upwards, gents. We've got fall season, we got Worlds, finals aren't even over and done with. There's a lot to play for, and most importantly, Open Circuit on Saturday, on Sunday. Super, super, super important for both North America and Europe. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you very much. We'll leave you with a final shot of the studio where the teams will be facing off for the finals. Thank you very much, and good night.